How many of us are mortally scared of losing our memory as we age? And how many of us do have a relative who either has dementia or Alzheimer's? And we don't know what to do about this disease? Well, today is World Alzheimer's Day. And I'm Dr. Lenny DaCosta, a geriatric physician, a functional medicine expert, and the author of the upcoming book, Is Your Doctor Keeping You Sick? My dear friends, I chose this topic today because today is the World Alzheimer's Day. And I'm not going to be speaking about Alzheimer's. I'm not going to be speaking about how you get Alzheimer's or what happens to you or how you get dementia. Rather, I want to speak to you today about what we can do to reduce its effects or try and reverse it as early as possible, or even prevent it if possible. That's the better. The mother of all invention is prevention, or the best cure for any disease is prevention. So, what are the things that you need to do to try and avoid getting into a situation that you will develop dementia or Alzheimer's as you age? So to start with, the first thing that you need to do is be very, very active. You need to do your daily exercise, whether it's a walk, whether it's a small jog, whether it is cycling. You need to be active. If you stop doing those exercises that you do in the morning, there's one sure shot way of letting your body start slowly, and I'll tell you the reasons why as we go ahead, will slowly start putting you in a position that you may develop Alzheimer's. And this is especially true for people who have diabetes. The second one is you need to eat healthy. Now, what do I mean by eating healthy? You need to stay away from the carbs. You need to stay away from sugar or high sugar foods. You need to stay away from anything that kind of spikes your insulin, even if you're not a diabetic. But more importantly, you also need to keep eating foods that you need to chew rather than live on juices and soups. So as we get older, we tend to have a soup in the night and we think we're doing great because it's a good diet for us. No, you need to munch. The more you munch, the better is the chance that you will save your cognition from going away. Cognition meaning your brain functioning, mainly memory. So you need to munch a lot. Then you need to avoid smoking, which directly destroys your brain cells, and drinking. Why? Because when you drink too much of alcohol, one of the vitamins that helps the brain to function well, that's the B12, gets eliminated for the metabolism or getting rid of your alcohol that you consume through the liver. So a lot of the B12 gets used up over there instead of being used for your nervous tissue. Then you need to constantly keep your mind occupied. So you need to do things like puzzles, things like crosswords, read a lot. So as you keep reading, at least read the newspaper if nothing else. Don't waste time watching the TV all the time. That's going to give you more of a brain fog rather than keep your brain alert. You need to do something that stimulates your mind. You could play all kinds of board games where memory comes into play. So you need to keep the memory used. They say if we stop using something within our body, we lose its function. So if you stop using your memory regularly, you slowly start losing it. And finally, you need to take control of your own health and don't depend on others to tell you what to do. So these are 6 preventive steps that I have given you. But I have 2 bonuses that I need to give you. There are 2 things that you can do at home in your diet that will help you avoid Alzheimer's. And one of the major advances, or I wouldn't say advances, the major discoveries of recent times has been that when you have a lot of virgin coconut oil, I'm using the word virgin or unprocessed, which is locally made, which is cold pressed, not heat pressed, not processed. So today you get coconut oils which are also processed, which are done by these big multinational companies. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about virgin coconut oil or cold pressed coconut oil or unprocessed coconut oil. When you have a lot of this coconut oil, there have been studies to show that people have been able to reverse dementia, reverse early stages of Alzheimer's. Now, why does this happen? In the first place, as far as Alzheimer's is concerned, the one reason why you get Alzheimer's is because the brain cells can no longer get the glucose they want, and this happens more because of insulin resistance. Now, this is a term that most of you may not be familiar with. What happens in insulin resistance is the sugar which is in the blood cannot get into your cells because insulin cannot get it in. Insulin is supposed to allow the sugar to get into your cell for the cell to use. Now, in this case, it happens in the brain. Insulin resistance, which is present in most diabetics in our country, causes the sugar not to get to the brain cells. Now, brain cells use 25% of the entire calorific value, or 25% of the glucose that is being that we get in our body through our diet. And if it doesn't get the sugars, the brain cells start dying, and that is one of the reasons why you have Alzheimer's. Now, when you have coconut oil has got 60% medium chain triglycerides. Now, medium chain triglycerides directly get into the liver and get converted into ketone bodies. They do not need any body enzyme. They do not need any pancreatic enzymes to convert the fat into ketones. They get directly converted in very quick time. And these ketones then replace the sugar in the brain to give food for the brain cells. So if you start having this very early, because the first sign is insulin resistance in the brain, then you get all those other amyloid tissues and amyloid tangles and amyloid plaques that you get in the brain that you see in Alzheimer's. But the first thing that you see is insulin resistance. And if you start using coconut oil, you are knocking off the insulin resistance. You are also ensuring that the ketones that these MCTs make go directly to the brain and provide the brain with the much needed nutrition that it needs. So this is one reason, and of course, it stops the brain cells from dying. So this is one of the reasons why coconut oil has such a strong or such a very powerful role when it comes to avoiding dementia or reversing the early dementia setting in or early Alzheimer's setting in. The second thing I need to tell you is all of us can get hold of good omega-3 fatty acids from any health store or any pharmacy. There are so many of them. The DHA, which is present in the omega-3, so you have EPA and DHA. DHA is responsible for ensuring that you do not get these amyloid plaques being formed, and it is known to prevent Alzheimer's. So these are the two things you can use to prevent Alzheimer's from setting in if you already are feeling the signs of losing memory here, don't remember what I kept there, or if any of your relatives feel that way, if your mother, your uncles, your aunts, please give them 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in the morning and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in the evening, maybe in a vegetable soup if they don't want to drink it raw. You can even put it in a coffee, it tastes fantastic, of course without the sugar. And yes, there is one other benefit if you take the coconut oil in the evening as well, is that the lauric acid in the coconut oil ensures that you get the best of sleep. So if you're having sleep disturbances, this would be another benefit, added benefit to you if you decide to use coconut oil to kind of block the onset of dementia or slow it down or even stop it. My dear friends, if you like this video, please share it. Please share it with your elderly folks at home. They may require this advice. This is something that you can do at home and prevent Alzheimer's both for yourselves and for your family, especially if you're an adult. Do share it, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Go to my YouTube channel. I've got lovely videos for you for many other health benefits that you can derive from listening to those. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.